We're on vacation.
Welcome to Hawaii. My first table of the night, I had a guy ask me if I could squirt.
Episode's over. We're done. We're done. Episode's done. That's it. He turns around. He pulls his pants down, ass out. Just ass out. And he goes...
And just like pulled her dress up and squatted down in her heels and took a shit right next to the bar.
Happy Halloween, bitches.
Happy Halloween. Like, I have a belt.
I didn't know you were going to do that.
I have a belt. So it's a Halloween episode. This time is going to be an entire episode of What the Fucks. It's just going to be all the crazy stories.
You're welcome.
All of our horror stories from the industry, some other people's horror stories. Like some of my friends that I know of. Some of my horror stories from working in the strip club.
There's a lot.
Yeah, we're just going to talk about everything, and it's going to be so fun.
But firstly, hi, I'm Krystal.
Hi, I'm Tori.
And this is Changing 100.
Yes.
A podcast where two party pit dealers that deal in Las Vegas tell you all of our crazy stories.
Mm-hmm.
Because who else are we going to tell?
I'm
Ooh,
over
one more
here
thing.
just.
Review. Do you want to do that
review,
one?
subscribe, follow.
Especially on the podcasting platforms. If you're listening on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and even Google, or there's so many. I can't name all of them. Leave a review. Leave 5 stars. Leave 5 stars if you hate us. Leave 5 stars if you love us.
Ba-ba-da-da.
It just helps the show. If you love us and you want to see us, grow and get bigger and all that stuff. Because the goal is one day to tour. And we want to see all of you and meet all of you and shoot the shit with all of you, right? To have feedback from.
I want to go to all the casinos all over the country because I know there's like different stuff and different rules. So I want to go everywhere. I want to do roulette without a ball.
Oh, the card roulette.
Yeah, we do card roulette.
In the first episode.
I think they have those in Texas. Not Texas because there's no gambling. Ohio? No, what is Oklahoma? I'm so sorry. Geography. Oklahoma.
Tomorrow's Halloween, y'all. This is when it gets. Actually, no.
I thought Halloween was on a Tuesday this year.
It is, yeah. Today is Monday when the show goes live. Tomorrow's Halloween. We just went through a crazy Halloween weekend.
Oh my God. I am not in the proper mind space, headspace after this weekend. Just so much random, crazy things. Like I just went through Friday the 13th.
I wasn't there.
And that was wild. It's like, just not like even wild, but just like interesting people, random things happening. Like I was like, it really is a Friday the 13th. Like just randomness all night. It was a lot.
Sounds like fun. Glad I wasn't there.
Should we start there? Or do you have a what the fuck for this week? Even though this whole episode's going to be that?
I haven't prepared.
I'll start because I have stories.
I have to look back on the notes.
So Friday the 13th, my first table of the night, I had a guy ask me if I could squirt.
Episode's over. We're done. We're done. Episode's done. That's it.
So get to the table, and it's like a huge group of people. There's got to be like 10 of them at least. Get to their table, and they're like, where are we going after this? And as a joke, I'm like, Sapphire, right?
Oh, yeah,
Go to the strip club, right?
Yeah.
And he goes, why do you do house calls? And I was like, no, sir. He was like, do you know anyone that does house calls? I was like, maybe there. I used to.
Yeah.
When I worked there, maybe. And he was like, okay, so then wouldn't stop asking me the whole hour I was with them if I did house calls or not. Every time I spin the ball, he goes, spin the ball like you're horny. Their wives are there.
Oh my God.
Their wives are there, just like chilling. Like, they're like, you can yell at him. You can yell at them if you want. Like,
girl,
like,
get your man.
Good God. Clearly, they're all just chilling, having a good time. They were there because it was somebody's birthday and somebody was getting married. So all of them came to do one giant celebration. So every time I spin the ball, he screams that. Then, like, at the end of my hour, like, he keeps asking me about house calls. He's like, well, are you dancing? Like, what kind of dancing do you do? Like, can I throw money at you? And I was like, you can throw me chips. Because I'm like, why not? I'll try and make the money, right? He just will not leave me alone the whole hour I'm there. Then at the very end of the hour, he just, like, straight up was like, do you squirt?
Oh, my. That's inappropriate.
Yeah. And then at that point, I was like, okay. Like, I can only sit here and fake smile and fake laugh and fake joke with you for so long. And now we're like, because when players say the same thing over and over again and it just won't, like, and you can only sit there and be like,
yes,
so many times.
100%, yes.
Like, I was hitting that point and then he went like that. And I just looked at him and I was like, staring. And his wife, like, said something and I was like, he was like, well, can you do it? And I was like, I don't think that's my job, sir. And then I got tapped out right after that. And I was like, wow, great start to the day.
Yeah, this is not the time nor the place.
Interesting way to start the night. So then my second table, I had this guy who came in. I had this cute younger couple. They were super attractive. Like, she was blonde and gorgeous. Like, he was, like, fit and, like, tan and stuff. Super attractive. This random guy comes up. He's, like, older, and he just looks like a cartoon character. I don't know how to describe it. Like, he's, like, tall and scrawny and has these big eyes, and he's, like, a little wrinkly, and his hair's kind of gray, and he's just, like, loud. Mm-hmm. He's just, like, loud and slightly obnoxious. And you can tell he's a little weird, but he was friendly. Like, he was nice. And he just reminded me of a cartoon character. So she's standing on the inside of the table by me. Her dude's on the end of the table, and he's over here. And he is, like, leaning across this guy to talk to her, like leaning, like having her pick numbers, having me pick numbers. Comes in, throws $1,000 down, is playing like blacks on the inside, blacks and greens on the inside. So he's like playing.
Yeah.
Tipped really well. So I was like letting it happen. Like first spin he hit, tipped me really well. Tipped the girl. So I was like, oh, okay. Like, you're a little strange, but we'll ride with it.
Yeah.
This guy comes up, throws 100 on black, wins. The cartoon guy says something to the other guy. And the guy turns around and goes, don't talk to me like that. I'm going to fuck you up. And I was like, hold on, wait, what just happened? Yeah. I have no idea what was said, but clearly.
Yeah, you all of a sudden, like, everything turns on. You're like.
I was like, wait, what? Because I'm like, we're not fighting at my table.
Yeah.
Like, I was like, what just happened? Don't know. And so the guy's like serious. And then he's like whispering to himself. The cartoon guy's like whispering to himself. And he's like, do we need to do this? And I was like, we're good. Like, you're okay. Like, I like handed him, he like put 100 on black. I handed him his $200. I was like, have a good night. Like, I was like, true flight. We don't have to do this. So the guy, he does like 2 more spins, hits one, tips me well, leaves, comes back, like, and then he leaves. And I look at this couple because she's like trying to be nice, right?
Yeah.
And I was like, well, you can sit down now if you want to. And she's like, okay, thanks. And I was like, he was like a cartoon. Like, just his personality, the way he looked, everything was like a cartoon to me. And they start laughing. And then like 2 minutes later, he comes back with his girlfriend. And she's like young and pretty. Mm-hmm. Like, clearly a little weird too. Mm-hmm. They do one more spin. He loses. He's like, what are you doing to me? And I was like, try again. Give me one more shot. Like, because he's buying it a lot, right? They end up leaving. So my second table was just kind of like weird off of the night.
This is Friday the 13th, right?
This is Friday the 13th. And then there was a girl, because later on in the night I went back to my first table. And I had another huge group, super drunk, playing really boring. They were just playing outside bets. Someone's tipping. The other chick is like almost too drunk to stand and open her eyes. They're all pretty drunk. One of the younger ones who's not playing, because there's like a group of older people and then younger ones standing behind them. She's like moving everyone out of the way. She's like, I'm a professional. Clear this space. And I was like, oh, I think I know what she's about to do. So she steps back, starts doing back handsprings down the middle of our pit.
What? This is what I missed?
Yes, starts doing back handsprings down the middle of our pit. And I'm like, I knew she was going to do it though. Like, I could just tell. But security was standing over there. I was like, they're going to stop it. But I was like, you know what? I'm going to let her get the video.
I'm gonna let her get
the video. So she was doing back handsprings down the middle of our pit. Security comes up and is like, whoa. Like, because it's busy too. Like, there's people. So security's like, you can't do that.
This is great.
I talked to one of them afterwards and he was like, I just went up to her and I was like, listen, super dope. But you can't do that here. Like, I'm sorry. Like, you can't do that. It's dangerous. She's drunk. She's like, I'm a professional. Like, I know how to do it. And he's like, it doesn't matter, ma'am. Like, you can't do it here.
You're all showing me your gold medal.
So she comes back and I'm like, yo, show me that video. Because I knew it was a dope video. So I was like, yo, show me that video. So she shows me the video. It was super cool. At the very, very end of the night, the graveyard manager came up to me and was like, I got a complaint about you the other day and you weren't even working. And I laughed because I was like, what? Like, huh? You know, I was like, what? And then she like walks away, but she was kind of serious. And I was like, wait, like a real complaint or a complaint that I wasn't working so somebody was mad and was complaining? Right? Like, I don't know. And she's like, no, like a real complaint. And he was like yelling at me, calling me a bitch, calling you a bitch, saying that you were rude and you didn't like, you weren't nice to him and like your customer service was awful. And I looked at her and I was like, not possible.
Your brain's going.
I was like, not possible. Because I'm nice to like, I've had stories of men grabbing me and I'm like still nice to you.
Yeah.
Calling me like, not possible. I'm literally nice to everyone. And she was like, yeah. And then I went and I like asked the pencil, like the swing pencil, not the graveyard pencil. I was like, did Tori work today? And he was like, no. And she was like, okay, who was this guy talking about?
Who was it? Yeah.
I was like, maybe it's someone who's played with me before and just remembered my name, but it was a different person. I don't know.
Yeah.
But like, I guess got a serious complaint about me. Hold on, there's more. Oh, and then at the end of the night, like I was closing my table and this drunk chick was walking by and her friends were like playing at a table. So she was like slung over her friend and they're walking and she's drunk, but the other one's drunker. And she's got this like flowy dress on and her dress just like comes down.
Hello.
Like just comes down.
Hey, girl.
And her boobs are out. And this is the end of my night. And I was like, what else can fucking happen tonight? Like I've seen titties. I've been asked if I can squirt. I've gotten a complaint about me when I wasn't even there. I have cartoon character man. Hold on. I have a whole list because I was like, what the fuck's going on? Oh, tons of big money that night.
Really?
Tons of like table max on Texas Hold'em. Huge roulette players coming in playing blacks and greens inside. I had like 3 or 4 people.
Friday the 13th brought them out.
I had like 3 or 4 people playing blacks and greens inside.
Mental note. Work the next Friday the 13th.
There was this guy that was like walking down the pit and was like, wow! Like just yelling, just having a great time. He was like, wow! A guy, I was dancing on the box, a guy wooed back at him and he turns around and he goes, not you, and keeps walking. And then I started laughing. The dealer at the table was like, I covered her mouth really quick. And I was talking to her later on break and I was like, I lost my shit. That was so funny. And she was like, no, what was funny was that guy was like an asshole. He was really mean, wasn't tipping, was like slamming his chips. So it was funny that he looked at him and was like, not you, honey.
Yeah.
Oh, there was a guy who would win and would squeeze and twist his nipples and yell every time he won.
What the hell
He'd be like,
happened this night?
like so loud. And then later on in the night, he was in the carnival pit, the black and white pit. And his friend was like viciously rubbing his stomach, like for like good luck, and was like, come on, like slapping the table, like viciously rubbing his stomach. And I was like, what is going on? Like I was making all these crazy notes.
I got a message that was it that night or the next day, I don't remember, from Tori, and she was like, the night was
like,
insane.
why were you not here?
Yeah,
because the craziest randomest shit was happening.
I don't know any of this. I saved it for this episode and I am wow.
Yeah. Just weird stuff all night.
Wow.
All night. Like it was just wild. And then it was just a wild night and it was busy. We ended up making good money, I think. But it was just like busy and just like random. Just such random stuff happened all night.
That's one of those nights where you go to your car and you're like, what is my job?
Yeah, no, that was me. That was one of the nights that I like pulled into my
job?
driveway and I just sat there for like 20 minutes and I was like, okay.
So you start writing everything down
Decompress for a second.
for the show now, because before the show we kind of
you just live it and go on.
Yeah, you move on, and now with the show, it's like I gotta write it down.
Gotta write it down so I remember to say it on the show. It was just and then the night before, I was just having weird, awkward interactions with people. Like I think there was just something about Friday the 13th. And I said that to one of my players because they were like kind of observing everything weird happening too. And I looked at him and I was like, is it because it's Friday the 13th?
Has to be.
And he was like, that's what I was wondering. And I was like, I've just had the most random, outlandish things happen tonight.
The only reasonable explanation
right
was the date
Right. But the girl with the back handspring, she really did it for me. That
I
was
really
like
love that.
the cherry on.
That's the one
top.
that I'm jealous I missed.
Clearly, she was
'cause I
drunk
would've
as
loved
hell.
that.
But the fact that she was clearing.
She landed it though?
Oh, yeah. She did
Drunk
like
and
3.
landed it?
I think she did like 3. She was just like clearing
Applause to her.
the whole thing.
My hero.
Yeah. And I knew it was going down. I was like, she's going to tumble. I was like, she's about to tumble. I could just tell. I was like, she's about to tumble. Yeah. I thought she only did 1, but someone told me that she did like 3 because like there was kind of a crowd at that, like a crowd of people.
That's
so
living.
security
Love
was
it.
like, no. Oh, and then at the very, very beginning of the night, I saw my favorite security guard. So I gave him a hug. And behind me, this guy's like walking up to us with 2 of the like 32-ounce beers, the really tall one, and they fill those to the top. And he's like carrying them with his hands out, like one in each hand, but like looking me in the face. And I was like, do you need help?
Yeah.
Like, I was like, is that what you're asking me for? Do you need me to help you to your table? Because I'll take one for you. And he was like, no, I thought you were giving out free hugs, and my security guard friend whipped it around so fast. It was like, nah, man, not today. Like, but he's really protective over us, so it's really nice.
It was perfect.
But he was just
though.
like, wrong day. He was like, not doing it.
It's perfect timing. You're like,
Right.
thank you.
Just crazy stuff happened all night.
I don't have anything as crazy as a girl doing, was it front flips or back flips?
Back
flips
hand
on the floor.
springs, yeah.
But one night, this one lady goes on the box. Nobody saw it, which was really surprising, but everyone saw her pulling her top back up.
So she got on the box, which is not allowed. One.
No, it's in the pit. You're not allowed to walk through the pit, first of all.
Right.
The boxes that people dance on, go-go dancers or whatever, dance on, you're not allowed to get on those at all. And someone dared her. She got on the box. I thought she was just going to dance, but apparently she flashed everyone. Yeah, girls gone wild. Woo! Pulled her top down and then pulled it back up and then got asked to leave.
Oh my God. Well, yeah. But I'm not going to lie. Back in my like prime, I probably would have done the same thing, honestly. I used to flash people all the time when I was in high school.
Really?
Yeah. It was like my thing. Like my friends would be driving and I would just like
Lift your top.
flash people.
Not me.
No.
I was too scared.
Mm.
I'd moon people. Oh, the story. So there's these 2. This isn't my story. This isn't personal story. This is verified. This. Oh, let me fix this.
I know. Pull it together, Captain.
This is my story, but it's verified. These 2 guys are going at it, and they start doing the fuck you. And one guy gets so upset. He goes, "Oh yeah, fuck me." He turns around. He pulls his pants down, ass out, just ass out, and he goes, "Fuck me."
Oh my God.
On the casino floor.
Oh my God. I could not imagine if I was that dealer. I would have been like, because you know, men's have hairy butts.
Yeah.
Ew. Gross.
Some people are into that.
That's true.
Have you heard of the bear community?
The bear?
Bear community, yeah.
Like RAR?
Yeah,
Like
bears.
BEAR?
Do you know what bears are when it comes to men?
Like,
Gay men.
I didn't know that.
Oh.
I was going to say, I assume that means they're hairy.
Yeah, bigger, bulkier, hairy. It's a vibe.
Not my vibe, but somebody's vibe.
Somebody's vibe. Hey.
That's cute. Okay, bear community, that's kind of sweet.
Anyways, booty in the air on the casino floor.
There was a day that one of the girls walked by me and I like yelled out to her. We'll just call her Bobette. I was like, wait, Bobette, will you do this, this, and this? And she was like, yeah. And then my player looked at me and was like, she responded to that. And I was like, I'm sorry? Because I was confused. I was like, I'm sorry? He was like, she responded to you calling her Bobette, so that must be her real name. And I was like, because her name's on her name tag. And I was like, correct? Like, I'm still confused where we're going. And he was like, oh, I thought you guys had fake names.
Oh.
Everyone thinks we have, like, fake stage names.
Yes. Especially mine. I'm Krystal with a K.
With a K, yours does look like...
Nobody believes me that my name is Krystal.
Might as well call you Diamond.
Right. People are like, is it Krystal or Krystal? I'm like, it's Krystal.
Speaking of which, I was dancing on the box and you were dealing, and someone was like, what's your name? And you were like, Krystal. And they were like, Christine. And you were like, yep.
Because it was the 3rd time.
Oh, it was the 3rd time?
What's your name, Krystal? What is it, Krystal? No, first, what's your name, Krystal? And then he said something. And I was like, no, Krystal. And he goes, Christine. And I was like, yep.
Oh, I only heard the one time.
That's
So
my
I
name.
thought it was just funny that you immediately were like, yep, correct.
Yeah.
Correct. Everyone calls me my sister's name because I have it tatted on my shoulder.
Oh.
So everyone's just like, come on, sister's name. And I'm like, do people get their name tatted on
own
them
name,
like a
yeah.
name tag? Because this is where you'd put a name tag, right? Like, I'm like, do people do that?
You do.
Clearly, I just respond to it. My dad calls me her name anyway, so it's just like, all right.
Wait, why? It's just like the parent thing?
It's just a parent thing.
Oh, okay.
You know, when I call you the wrong name and you're
Yeah.
like, all right.
Yeah, all the time.
Yeah.
I'm always my older sister.
Right. Oh, I have a fun, crazy one.
All right, you go and then I'll try and think of
Okay.
mine.
So I was on Texas Hold'em, and it was a while ago, and this guy came up, and he had like a group of friends. He sits down, and I always ask people, because people think it's blackjack.
All the time.
So I asked people right away. I'm like, do you know this is Texas Hold'em? It's not blackjack. And he was like, no. And I was like, oh, okay.
Okay.
He's like, it's fine.
Oh, I love that response because then they sit down, they're even more confused. So where do I
He's like,
put
it's
my...
fine. And I was like, okay. So we start to like, I'm like helping him set it up, right? I'm like 15 here, 15, like table minimum. You can bet these are optional. And I was like, depending on when you want to bet, like you can play it. And his friend who kind of knows the game is like, put $60 out there right now. So because it's the max bet on the table minimum. If you're playing table minimum, it's the max bet.
Okay.
And I was like, if you do it right now, you're playing blind. You can't see or touch your cards. Because I don't let people touch their cards. Some girls are like, yeah, you can look at it. Like, and I'm like, no. You're playing blind. Gotcha. Your cards go in the front. You're not touching them.
It took me a second to understand what was happening, but
I'm
there
sorry.
now. Well,
so his friend was like convincing him to play max bet, playing blind. I know. Should we just pop another one real quick? And so he plays, and I'm like, all right. Like, I'm a little nervous, right? Because he bought him for 100, and if you're playing all of them, you're playing 100 the first hand. So he's playing 100 the first hand. Wins it.
Oh.
And doesn't even win it. Like, it's a straight or something. Like, it's like a little extra money. Does it again. And I, like, because he just takes back his winnings. And I was like, are you still playing blind? And he's like, yeah. Hits a flush.
Oh.
And I was like, God damn.
Of course. Beginner's luck.
I was like, God damn. Does it a third time, gets trips. And I'm like, at this point, I like look at him. Now I'm looking at everyone else.
Camera scene.
Because like everyone's like standing behind me as like a group of like 5 people. He's sitting down. And I'm like, what's going on right now?
Right.
I'm like, what type of magic did you just bring to my table? So goes a 4th time blind, loses.
Okay. All right. We're back. We're back to our regularly scheduled program.
I get tapped out. The next girl comes in, and I'm like, I just let her know. I'm like, he doesn't know how to play. He's playing blind. Mm-hmm. She's like, all right. So I'm on the box dancing, so I'm still creeping because I'm like, what's going on? And at this point, we're like, ah, we're like really cheering and going crazy. He plays 3 more hands with her, wins every single time, but actually gets a good hand. Like, gets another straight, gets like another flush or something, and then got like a flop hit on his last hand. Like, bought in $100, left with like 900.
Damn, I think beginner's luck is a thing.
Oh, I do too, 100%. Yeah. 6 times, all blind, doesn't know how to play. His friend just peer pressured him, and he was like, fuck it.
Yeah, let's go.
And left with like $900.
Damn, beginner's
And I was
luck.
like, what the I was like, what the fuck? But it was just crazy to see, and it was so fun. Like, they left, and they were like, bye, Tori. And I was like, bye, guys. Like, it was just crazy to see. Like, but I love stuff like that. Like, sometimes I feel like you gotta just go out there and throw it. And
Me
have
too.
Good energy.
Yeah.
Just have good energy and don't care, and just be like, if it hits, it hits. If it doesn't, it doesn't. But it was so fun.
That's the main thing. Don't care.
Right. No, you just can't care.
Can
I backtrack for a hot second?
Go for it.
When he called you Christine, in my head I was like, okay, that's Krystal's work persona.
Yeah, that's
because you're like a house deal and you take all the money. So when I see you and I'm on the box and I'm like, damn, she's really killing him. I'm like, come on, Christine. I'm like, Christine, no. I'm like, Christine, you're fired. Get her out of here. She's mean.
I'm not fired. I'm actually getting a promotion. And I'm getting a bonus check at the end of the year.
Because she takes all your monies.
It is. I love it. I was on the table and these guys were just like, you never let me win. And I was like, don't cry. You'll be fine.
Right.
And then, or I'll say like, oh, you're getting beat up by a girl. I'll say things like that.
I started asking guys if they needed hugs. Like, they'll get upset and I'm like, do you need a hug? And then, of course, they're like, yeah, come give me a hug. And I'm like, sir, he needs a hug. Because I can't leave the table. He needs a hug.
Yeah. He just lost $15. He needs He needs some consoling.
Oh my gosh, let me tell you this horror story real quick. Last night, I had this dad and daughter duo at the roulette table, and they were very nice, but I was starting to get really annoyed really quickly because I was like telling them minimum's 15. They wouldn't put fucking 15 chips out. Then they kept trying to play the same color. So we bought him for $200. He wanted 5s. I said, do you want 2 different colors, one for you, one for her?
Right.
He was like, no, just one color. And I said, okay. So I give him one color. He splits it. He gives half to her. And I said, only one person can play one. So he puts a bet out, then she puts a bet out. He puts his on black. She puts hers on red. One can't do that. So I was like, hey, like, only one person can play one color if you want. Like, that's why I asked you if you wanted 2 colors. Like, I can change her color. And he was like, no, she's a birthday girl. She'll play. So he takes his bet back. Like, towards the end of my hour with them, because they didn't know how to play, and they told me they didn't know how to play, and I said, that's fine. I tried to explain it to them. He was like, yeah, no, we got it. Clearly, they didn't get it.
You don't
It's
got
fine.
it.
Towards the end of my thing, some random guy comes up, throws a $500 chip on red, hits it. Pay him the $500, he walks away. Dad went to the bathroom, came back after that, and goes, did he tip you on that $500? And I was like, no. And he was like, oh man, I'm sorry. He's like, that's awful. And then she goes, yeah, men are trash. No offense, Dad. And I was like, it happens. Like, I don't really expect much. If you come up to my table randomly, throw something on black or red, and then I'm not expecting it, to be honest. Should I have got something? Probably. But did I get something? No. Was I surprised not to get anything?
No, every time somebody comes in and just places all in on one bet, I'm just like, eh.
So we spent a few minutes talking about tipping and that guy should have tipped you. And she's like, no, men are stupid and trash to this. So I'm like, okay. But y'all haven't taken care of me.
Oh, they haven't? Hold on a second.
So then I tap out.
Hold on a second.
Yeah, I tap out and I'm like, happy birthday. Enjoy your concert, because they're here to see the U2 concert at the Sphere.
Yeah.
They asked me questions about if I know anybody that's gone or anything. And I'm like, I don't personally know anyone. Everything I've heard from people, everyone says it's amazing.
Amazing, yeah.
So I'm like, bye guys, have a great night. Good luck. They're new, they're getting used to it. I'm telling my other dealer, I'm like, happy birthday, enjoy your concert. I'm like waiting.
Yeah.
Dragging it out. I'm like mucking for a second. Nothing. Get on the box. I didn't tip me anything. And I'm like, how dare you fucking say, oh, men are trash.
Right. Hello?
Like, oh, that sucks. He didn't tip you. And then I'm sitting here and I'm really taking my time with you guys.
And struggling
and I'm
with you guys.
super nice and I'm putting things in stacks of it. Like, I'm going over my job description to like make things easier for you. Like, hey, you're playing 5s.
And it's just
and then the fact that you're going to comment on me not getting tipped and then you're not going to tip me.
What is that? That's weird.
That's
weird.
I was slightly aggravated.
That was weird. That's weird behavior, because it not only feels like an extra slap to the face, but the whole time I was just like, really?
Right. And usually I feel like I'm super patient, and honestly, I don't ever expect anything, but I appreciate things. Oh, okay. I appreciate tips, but I don't ever really expect tips. And the fact that here's what got me is if they hadn't tipped me, I wouldn't have felt any type of way about it. Because I'm like, you're new to gambling. She's freshly 21. You're here for the concert. You're here for her birthday. It's fine. But the fact that I should have been tipped.
Yes.
You brought it up.
Yes.
She said men are trash, and then you're not going to tip me?
Right.
After I spent this time and I'm putting things in 15 and I'm letting you guys break the rules.
Right.
And I'm letting you go, yeah.
That's
annoyed.
Like, lose.
I was a little annoyed. I'm not going to lie.
Yeah.
And a little annoyed. So that was that.
Sending all the bad juju vibes.
Right. And I don't know if they won or not after that. They left shortly after I left the table. But I was just like,
good.
What the fuck?
This is a good one. I heard this from someone, and it's a pretty good one. So, high rollers. One's in one salon, one's in another salon. One salon is being extremely rowdy. The other guy in the other salon doesn't appreciate the rowdiness. And he's not just being rowdy. He's being like rude to the dealers. He's being rude to the floors. He's being that rowdy because he's like, I have money. I can do whatever the fuck I want. I can say whatever I want, and you guys have to listen.
I'm confused. So what is a salon? I thought salons were like different rooms.
Mm-hmm.
So he can hear the rowdy one from his room.
Yes.
Oh, wow. Okay. So he was really rowdy.
Rowdy.
Okay, got it.
The other guy, so the one that is, this guy is a billionaire, not a millionaire.
Billionaire, okay. He's on a different level.
A billionaire's in his salon, and is like, what the fuck is happening out there, right? So he goes over there, and he's like, can y'all keep it down? Mm-hmm.
Wow, okay.
Because not only does the billionaire know this guy's being an asshole to everyone.
Oh, the rowdy one was?
The rowdy one's the asshole.
Okay.
Like straight asshole, douchebag, whatever you want to call him.
what type of rowdy they were being.
No, like a dick. He's just dick.
Mm-hmm.
And billionaire goes over there and was just like, keep it down. Right? But the millionaire doesn't know that the other guy's a billionaire. He thinks he's on the same level.
So now it's like a dicking contest.
Yes.
Got it.
He thinks he's on the same. And the millionaire is like, do the fuck I want. I'm worth this much money. Blah, 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 blah.
Everyone with the money like that feels that way.
Right.
That's just a stereotype at this point in my head.
Right. Millionaires, whatever. And the millionaire says something like, I make $10 million a year. They can't, or something like that.
I can do what I want, right?
Something along the lines like I spend $1 million here, or I make $10 million a year. Something along the lines of I have money.
Mm-hmm.
And the billionaire goes, he literally said, was just like, oh, that's how much you make? That's cute.
Yeah.
That's cute. How about you bet it on the next hand?
I love it. I love the pressure. If I was the dealer, I would be like, fuck yeah, go.
Right? As a dealer, we're sitting there just like,
bet it. You pussy. Do it. Right, no, for real.
Yeah.
That's how I would have been.
So yeah, it was the billionaire against the millionaire. And the billionaire obviously won because the millionaire shut his trap so fast because there's no way.
Yeah.
There's no way.
Right.
Your little $10 million is nowhere near $1 billion.
No, 100%.
Do you know how many zeros are in $1 billion?
More than your 10 million.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that was an interesting story. And that's one of those things where I'm like, if I go to a regular strip property,
right, where there's money like that flowing. So I watched this video one time of someone describing the amount of money Elon Musk had, because he's a billionaire, right, with a B, compared to just like a regular millionaire, and they did it with grains of rice.
Ooh.
So it was interesting because he counted out, I think like 1 grain of rice was like equal to $100 or $1,000 or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
So he actually counted out these tiny grains of rice and said, this is what this person was worth, and it had like a huge mound. Like, this is the average human who makes $100,000 a year, which is not average, but like this is like $100,000 a year person, a millionaire who had like this much rice, and then the billionaire was like significantly more. And he was like, I think it was a girl actually, but they were like, I don't think people comprehend the difference between $1 million and $1 billion.
Yeah.
And how much more $1 billion is than $1 million.
I can't.
It's fine. I can't either, girl. But that was the story.
Got it.
Because after that, like now every time someone says $1 billion, I'm like, I think of the grains of rice.
Right.
Girl, if anybody should be losing their shit right now, it should be me, and I've pulled it together.
I lost. The billionaire against a millionaire is great. I love that.
So, what is a salon?
A salon.
Because you're not calling it high limit, so I'm confused.
Right. So a salon is a private room. You have a private room.
So but like, how many tables are there?
One. It's just you.
Oh.
It's
so
just
if you're playing
just a
like
player.
So if you're playing, that would be boring. Do they have a dealer?
A player or a dealer?
Do they have a dealer in there all night?
All night. So say
they don't just like, if there's a big player and they're like, hey, you want to go play by yourself, and then they just pull a dealer from the floor?
So usually the salons are kind of reserved in advance. Say I'm a billionaire. I'm flying into Vegas. I play at MGM. I don't know why I said MGM, but MGM. I will call my host and say I'm coming into town on this day. everything gets taken care of for me, depending on what your status is, right? I'm a billionaire though. So even a millionaire, let's bring it down a notch. I'm a millionaire. I come in, I at least lose $1 million or spend $1 million. I have $1 million line at the casino. Call my host. I say I'm coming into Vegas. Everything gets taken care of. I'm staying in the suite, the penthouse, whatever it is. My whole stay there, or whatever I tell my host I'm staying there, even if I'm staying somewhere else, but I play there, and I tell my host I'm in town from here to here. That salon is there with a dealer and a floor. 24 hours, open and ready.
Interesting. Okay, so do all big properties have that?
Yeah, I think pretty much, yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
I'm pretty, obviously somebody will tell me, but I'm pretty sure all the big properties who get those type of players, yes.
Okay, interesting. All right, so I feel like my last crazy thing isn't my story, but it's wild.
I'm here for it.
So I used to work with some guy who was a security guard, and he did security, he was in the military. He's done security for artists and bands and stuff, and has gone on tour. He's done casino security, he's done everything security wise. He's done it, military, police, security, everything. So he was telling me, because I was like, I know you have good stories. Tell me one of your favorite stories. And he told me that he was doing security at a nightclub, and this beautiful woman walked up to the bar. He was the baddest woman I've ever seen, just phenomenal. And I was like, that's a big statement, because there are beautiful women in Vegas, amazing, gorgeous women in Vegas. He said she had this knee length spaghetti strap, tight white gown on, just showed off her body, absolutely beautiful. She walked up to the bar, pulled her dress up, squatted down, and took a shit.
Why?
Out the bar. Went up, in the nightclub thinking, okay, she's going to get a drink. And they were confused because he was with one of his coworkers. And he was like, why are you coming to the bar? Where are you? You should not be going to the bar. She was that beautiful. And just, pulled her dress up and squatted down in her heels and took a shit right next to the bar. And they ended up having to, detain her and kick her out.
Why?
And he was just, yeah. And he was just so caught off guard because I know.
After he asked her, or she just did it on her own accord?
No, they didn't talk to her at all.
Oh, they didn't talk to her?
No.
So they talked about her, and then they witnessed that happen?
Yeah, so she was walking up, and they saw her walk through the floor, the dance floor or whatever in their club. I don't know what club he was at. And walked up to the bar.
What?
And just squatted down and took a poop.
Where? Here in Vegas?
Here in Vegas. I don't know where. I don't know what nightclub, but he said that it was one of the wildest things he's ever seen, because she was so gorgeous.
I don't know what to say.
Yeah, I don't either. And I'm hopefully she was just plastered, and they were just being men, and they were just oh, and they didn't see her wobbling there. I have no idea.
To take a poo-poo on the floor in front of everyone?
That's a lot. I know. That's
true.
A lot. That is a lot.
There are times when I don't even want to sneeze in front of other people, right? It's just right. I gotta sneeze. And you sneeze to the side.
I hope to God that I'm never that drunk that I am peeing or defecating on myself.
But she had at least enough in her to go, let me not dirty my dress.
That's true.
That's
true.
She did it on purpose.
She had to have. You know, I'm maybe it was a cultural thing. I don't know. But
cultural thing.
Here's
what
the
culture?
thing though, we've talked about it before. People peeing in the casino, peeing on tables, by slots, peeing themselves, shitting themselves in a casino. Cocktailing, I used to see guys go into the corner of their cabana and just whip it out and pee in the corner on the floor. Ew. And I'm bro, you can't go to the bathroom. I used to have a friend, and she would we would roll up places, and she'd be hold on, I really have to pee. And we would park in the parking garage, and she would walk around the front of the car to pee on the ground. And I was we are not doing that. And she was no, I'll just be really quick. I was
2 minutes away from a bathroom.
I was you're fucking grown. I'm fucking grown. I am not going out with you if you're peeing randomly like that. No. And I was we are 5 minutes away from a bathroom. Max 5 minutes away from a bathroom.
Max.
All we have to do is walk inside. There's bathrooms all over the casino floor. So I'm like,
Right.
we are max 5 minutes away from a bathroom. You are a grown adult. We're not even drunk yet. You can hold it. I don't know why that's a thing for people to just be like, oh, I have to pee. And then they just like,
And then they just pee. Yeah.
just pee wherever they can pee. And I'm like, can you be much?
That's the one thing about Vegas.
But I've never been that drunk or plastered. So or fucked up or under the influence.
I have been blacked out drunk.
Same.
Many times. Too many times.
And I've never peed myself.
I've never done that. I've never, ever done that. At least from what I remember.
Right.
That's amazing, though.
I don't know.
Because she knows. She knows she has the power. She knows she has the looks, right? Pretty privilege.
100%.
So she's just like, I'm going to do whatever I want.
But at that, I'm like, why would you want to do that?
I want to know who it is. Say their name. Say their name.
I hope she was a tourist and she's not a local. But there was a
Roll
day.
the tape.
I know, for real.
I think, okay, so for the Patreon, because this show is our job, our crazy stories. When we started Patreon, I think we're going to mix in our personal stories.
Okay.
Because I have too
Yeah.
many to count.
Yeah.
Yeah, that can be, we can go on for years talking about our crazy personal stories.
Mm-hmm.
I have a lot of them. I mean, I used to be so brave to go out alone in the city. Yes.
Wow.
Many, many times. And let me tell you, the situations I would get in, very fun. None of them were ever scary, thank God.
Okay, well, that's good.
But yeah.
Just fun stories.
So a little teaser to the Patreon. There's a Zoho. He was in our last episode. Or in the future episode. I don't even know when the episodes are coming out.
Hi, baby boy.
Okay.
Krystal is babysitting him right now for a whole month.
He's my bestie.
So sweet.
He's my best friend.
Oh.
Right?
Oh my God.
So cute. I
So
love
sweet.
him.
Okay.
Okay.
So you're going to subscribe, like, and follow on all types of platforms.
We are going to, we're going to tip our cocktail waitresses. We're going to tip our dealers. And we are not going to walk through the pit. Thank you so much.
No pit walking. Okay. I'll see you guys next time.
Have a safe and happy Halloween.
Yes, yeah.
Okay, bye.
Oh. I don't know how I feel about that.
This episode is so unhinged. I'm on vacation. It doesn't count.